Since 93 Sports, the only place for sports, entertainment, and the most relevant social issues of today. Right, since 93 Sports, back with another one. Wanted to give my thoughts on the Anthony Joshua versus Carlos Takam fight that just happened. As you all know, Takam was a replacement to Pulev, the guy who fought Klitschko, and I believe he fought Alexander Povetkin. And Takam fought Alexander Povetkin and Joseph Parker, so he was a decent name. The fight was decent other than the bullshit stoppage. They should at least let Takam continue the fight. He had showed lots of heart throughout the fight, so you at least owe him that. Takam was using a lot of good movement in those early rounds. He was moving a lot. He was, using good upper body movement, and he was really throwing Joshua off. He was also circling the ring whenever he wanted to, and Joshua was looking very slow. We don't know if it's due to the extra weight. This is the heaviest that Joshua's ever weighed in his entire professional career. But I just think Joshua has slow feet. He's never been like a really athletic looking guy. He's like a robot. Everything's, calculated, and that's good. A lot of fighters have been successful in that kind of style. But Takam made the guy look foolish sometimes. And Joshua has a lot of flaws. One thing I noticed, Joshua's been doing this for a long time. When he throws his right hand, he doesn't bring it back slow. He kind of, poses with it almost. So that left hook was landing for Takam. I think Takam caught on to that, and Takam was landing that left hook pretty good. But as you know, Joshua was way more active. He was throwing way more hard combinations. As I said before, he dropped him in the fourth round. But Joshua's power didn't really affect Takam too much. He did hurt him in the later rounds, and the fight was stopped, but it was a bullshit stoppage to me. Although Takam was hurt, he was still defending himself and slipping shots. So I believe the powers that be did not want to see this fight go the distance. They wanted to keep that streak going, because at the beginning of the fight, they mentioned that Deontay Wilder has the longest, I believe, streak of knockouts. I believe like 22 knockouts streak from his first professional fight or something. And I guess now AJ's at 20, so he has 2 more fights to tie that streak. And I guess they're probably going to try to market him like that. But I didn't like the stoppage, man. It was really just really odd to me. Takam was suffering from 2 bad cuts over both of his eyes. He is 36 years old. After fighting as long as I'm sure he has been, scar tissue is built up over his eyes, and he's probably more susceptible to cuts. Joshua was breathing hard in those later rounds, but he did have some kind of nose injury. I believe in the 3rd round, Takam butted him, and Joshua saying he thinks he broke his nose. I listened to the post-fight interview. They did ask him about Deontay Wilder, and he was real, just timid about the whole situation. He starts bringing up, I got the IBO, IBF, and WBA, and I fought so hard to get them, and I don't want them taken away because I don't fulfill one of my mandatories. So he's just doing all this mandatory bullshit. He knows that he's the biggest name in boxing, and if he really wanted the Deontay Wilder fight right away, the sanctioning bodies want to be a part of, that huge fight. So they're going to come up with something to let the fight happen. Come on now. We all know that they wouldn't strip him if he was going to do a unification fight. So he can just save that. And then we got Eddie Hearn coming in here all live, talking about, he wants the best fighters. He wants to be in a real fight, and how he wants Deontay Wilder, and he wants Tyson Fury to come back so he can fight him, so he'll be in a real fight. And they emphasize Tyson Fury, so that's the guy that they really want, And Tyson Fury's had some choice words about Eddie Hearn, so I don't know if he wants to work with Eddie Hearn or not, but I'm sure that's the fight that they're really targeting. They want Tyson Fury bad, and that's why they keep bringing him up. But other than that, man, it was a decent fight. Joshua was exposed a little bit. He doesn't know how to cut off the ring. He's got slow feet. He's susceptible to left hooks. He can be fooled with left hands, and because Takam was throwing his little left jab, left hook, and that would get Anthony's attention, and then he would come back with the right hand. So he can be fooled. He got flaws, man. That's all it is, man. When the last time you seen a taller fighter being picked off from the outside? Because there was some situations where Takam was on the outside picking Anthony Joshua off, and Joshua's like 6'6", and Takam's like 6 feet. You got a smaller guy picking you off from the outside. Like, where does that happen at? Okay, and at times Takam backed him up. So it can be done, man. This is just like made me just think even more that Deontay Wilder can beat Anthony Joshua. And I already felt that way before, but this just solidified it. But anyway, that's my thoughts. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to be notified when all my latest content drops. And I'm out.